The Namibian University of Science and Technology, in partnership with the US Embassy, yesterday hosted a public lecture by US District Victoria Roberts. The discourse focused on the US governance system and the importance of the independence of the judiciary. Judge Roberts now joins us to shed some more light and thoughts on it.
Good morning.
Judge. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Good to see you.
Lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
Judge Roberts, perhaps we can just start with you telling us and giving us a brief background about your visit in Namibia.
What prompted my visit to Namibia this time was just to follow up on a visit that I had in November to discourse with the Judiciary about the criminal justice system and to see if there were any types of recommendations that could be made regarding the administration of that. There had been an earlier visit of judges and personnel from the Federal Judicial Center in the States in March of last year, and then it resulted in the follow-up visit that I had with a colleague last November.
Fantastic. So what have you been doing while you've been here?
I've been meeting. I've been in meetings. I've been lecturing. That's about it. I got in town, I'm not even sure what day it is. I came in from Cape Town and began with a series of meetings yesterday, culminating with the lecture, and now I'm here.
All right. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, you're a judge from the United States. Talk to us about your role in the United States legal system and also how the checks and balances system works.
Well, why don't I first give you a little background, because I am one of the judges. I am in one of those branches of government, and it might be useful for people to know how I got into that branch of government. Right. So I am a federal judge, a federal trial judge, and I'm in the federal system. But in addition to the federal judicial system, each state has its own. So each state, 50 states, have branches of government that are set up exactly like our national branch of government. So my job is one that was appointed by the President of the United States. I was appointed by President Bill Clinton in 1998. And before I could take that position, I had to go through confirmation hearings before our Senate. And then the Senate had to vote on my position. And that is what happens with every single federal judge who sits in the United States. It's part of the checks and balances system. We have our legislative branch of government, we have the executive branch of government, and then we have the judicial branch of government. And all judges hold their positions after being nominated by the President and then approved by the Senate.
What are some of the differences and similarities that you've seen when we talk about the Namibian and American judicial systems?
I think the systems are very similar. Part of the why there is a partnership between the United States judicial system and the Namibian one is that we're both parts of democracies. And the judicial branch of government here is overseen by your Supreme Court, by Chief Justice Chivuti. The same is true in the United States. We have a Supreme Court. Chief Justice John Roberts supervises everything. And I think both countries are concerned with a fair administration of justice and what that will look like, and that's what our discussions center around. We can all have a commitment to the fair administration of justice. There's often differences of opinions about how you deliver that. But I think in both countries, we see the delivery of judicial services as a delivery of services to the people, to the public. It's our obligation, and we're trying to do that as fairly and as efficiently as possible.
Now, if we've looked at the comments and so on, and just viewing America from a global perspective, we've seen over the past couple of years that there's been an increase of criticism, with some groups claiming that the law doesn't serve for all citizens equally. What would you say about this?
I don't know that there's been an increase in criticism. The criticism is always there because we can't possibly serve everyone and make everyone happy. I can tell you that there hasn't been a big difference in my docket in terms of the disputes and the types of disputes. That's been pretty consistent over the years. But there are certainly matters that have drawn a lot of attention across the world of late. And maybe you could tell me specifically what you have in mind when you talk about the criticism, and I can perhaps address that.
Perhaps we can tie it in with my next question, which is we've seen Donald Trump has now obviously been elected as the new president for the United States, and with that comes many changes. We've seen that obviously there's Obamacare might be something of the past, and Trump care might be something new coming in for the health system in America, and it will leave a lot of people, especially the underprivileged and those ones with lower incomes, without health care. And those are one of the things that the American people are concerned about, have been complaining about. Do you think that the Trump administration somehow poses a threat to the judiciary?
I can't answer that question. One of the beauty of our system is that the judiciary is supposed to be completely independent. The legislatures, our executive branch of government, those are all elected positions. Those are political positions. Mine is not. Mine is independent. And there is a canon that prohibits judges from engaging in political activity, from even commenting on politics. I can't, for example, back in the States, I can cast a vote, but I can't be actively engaged in anyone's campaign. I can't publicly speak about who I am supporting. And part of the reason for that is because we get, as judges, we have to handle the disputes that come out of the other two branches of government. And we are told that we speak through our opinions. I can't now comment on your question. I can't possibly answer your question because a case could come to me that deals with a challenge to the health care law, and I would have to address that. I would have to address it through my opinion, and I don't want to be on public television in Namibia having already voiced an opinion, right, which would express some kind of predisposition. And without seeing the facts and without seeing the arguments, I can't do that. I don't want to do it.
Understood and respected, Judge Roberts. You had lectures, as you said. What other activities will you be engaging in during the rest of your stay here in the country?
Well, I have some ongoing meetings to wrap up with the judiciary, and I depart from Namibia today, as a matter of fact. So I'll be leaving this afternoon and going back to the States.
Judge Roberts, it was an honor having you here this morning. Thank you so much for taking time out to be here.
Thank you very much.
That was Judge Victoria Roberts speaking to us this morning, American District Judge. We continue with more here on GMN. Stay tuned.